What is going on, my Fireflies? My name is Sean. I am one of your co-hosts. We've got Chris, or NXT is your daddy, to my right. Welcome to the Bearded Fireflies Wrestling Podcast. Today is November 3rd, 2024, the year of our Lord, the year of the retirement of the American Dragon. The year of the scapegoat. God damn it. Motherfucking scapegoat. And let's just go out on a limb here. We'll add another one before the end of the year. It's the year of whoa! Cody motherfucking Rhodes. It's the year of Cody.
Yeah, buddy.
And we're gonna get into that. We are going to get into that. We're going to get into so much. We're going to start our show off by talking about this day, or on this day in wrestling history. Then we're going to go and we're going to move into NXT Halloween Havoc, because that was a show. That was a huge show, and it was a fucking awesome show. Then we're going to run into Monday Night Raw. We're going to go into SmackDown, or NXT and SmackDown. Then we're going to close the show off by talking about yesterday's event. Saudi Blood, Crown Jewel.
Jesus Christ.
I still call it Saudi Blood Money no matter what. Oh man, we got John in spirit, JR. We are the ones. All right, there's so much that happened in wrestling this week, but we are gonna go ahead. We're gonna wait to talk about that. Chris, how's your week been? How's your 2 weeks been, man? Because it's been like 2 weeks.
Not too bad, man. Had a Friendsgiving yesterday. Had a pretty good turnout. A bunch of friends came over for our friends' Thanksgiving. Yeah, man, it's been a pretty wild couple weeks, man. A lot of working. Just trying to get the podcast continue to go. But I'm doing okay, man.
And welcome, Ryan. Welcome, Ryan. He's a longtime supporter of the show. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. Well, I seen that your numbers are boosting up, man. That's good. You hitting other countries too?
Yeah, I finally hit 2,000 plays. Haven't hit another country in a minute. It's been a while.
Gotcha. We got a buddy of mine, old buddy of mine from the Army, Kevon Jones. Love Jones to death. What's up, Airborne? What's going on, brother? How you doing? Was about to play some Call of Duty, but then I saw you guys are coming on here. Instead. Well, thank you, Ryan. I appreciate you. I almost read that wrong, and I thought I said condom. I thought you said you're about to play with some condoms, and
I thought it said that too.
Love you, Ryan. We got to get the laughs up here where we can. Anyways, so thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit. My week has been crazy, man. I told you guys the last show that we did 2 weeks ago that I was going to Texas for a vacation. We went down to Houston, Texas, walked around and looked at some antiques. I got some crystals, got a really rare crystal that I've never seen before. That's right. I'm here for laughs. Awesome. Went down to Texas, did some antique show. Dude, like I told you guys last time, I thought it was like 10 miles. It's 28 miles long. Dog, 28 miles long, and like anything you can imagine, it was there. It was crazy. So, yeah, ate some really good food. Fell in love with Texas. I'm not saying that I'm going to move to Texas, but I fell in love with Texas. It's a beautiful state, wide open
Hell yeah.
spaces. Yeah, yeah, dude. Like if you haven't been to Texas and you get a chance, take a trip to Texas, man. It'll change your life. Just don't go there during the summer because it's miserable. Um, from my
Yeah, it's
understanding.
miserable in Florida too, dog.
Yeah, yeah. I'm jealous of that food you sent me. I bet, man. There's some really good food. I had a bunch of tacos. I had Bluebell ice cream, like straight from the factory. That was cool. It was fun. And then this week was
Nice.
just settling back in and reintegrating back into home life. Yeah, and then I go when Thanksgiving. I'm going to Tennessee to visit my daughter, and then we drive right into Christmas time, and she's coming here. So I got some family coming here, so that's interesting. Yeah, so it's been a good
How
time.
far
Been,
away is she from
how far away is she from where?
Chattanooga?
Oh, Chattanooga. A few hours, like 2 or 3.
Two, three. Okay.
Wow, what's up? Are you going to Chattanooga for Chris
I was
or
gonna
for
say
Thanksgiving?
no, no. I was gonna say if you were anywhere near Chattanooga, you should try this place called Taco Mac.
I've heard of that place. I think we're going to try that. I think we're passing through there on the way back. And Ryan asked, "Am I going to pass
Nice.
through his location again?" Because I got to meet him the last time we went out to Tennessee. Maybe we're not sure the route. We haven't planned our route yet, so we still got a few weeks before, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, man, I'm really excited about these coming weeks or coming the month. I'd love to get together again, brother. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I would love to as well. But yeah, man, we're gonna start our show off strong. November 3rd, on this day in wrestling history. I was reading through it prior to this, and there's some really cool things that happened and some really cool birthdays today. So we're gonna jump into that. All right. So on this day, we can see right there. I guess the most. I hate these pop ups, man. These pop ups are stupid. All right. All right. So today in wrestling history, '97, in this televised WCW debut, Perry Saturn defeated Disco Inferno to win the TV title on Nitro. I love me some Perry Saturn. Glenn Gilberty can kiss my ass. Um, 98, we had one of the greatest upsets in American political history. Jesse the Body Ventura was elected governor of Minnesota. Um, yeah, that happened. 2001, at WWF Rebellion, a UK only pay per view took place at the Met Arena in Manchester. In the main event, Austin retained the WWF Championship against The Rock. And I think that set up um, for Jericho and that tournament. Uh, and Yoko, I don't even know how to say that. In Yokohama, Japan, Tenzin defeated Takayama to win the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Don't know who either one of those are. 2008, in a steel cage match, Chris Jericho defeated Batista to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship back when he was entertaining and he didn't resemble a tree. 2000, 2014 on Raw, Rusev defeated Sheamus to win the United States Championship. And Vince McMahon made a surprise appearance on the show. That was
I
the last
remember that.
notable thing. Yeah, that was the last notable thing. So we got notable wrestling birthdays. Andrade El Idolo was born in '89. What? I'm older than Andrade? Get the fuck out of here.
Andrade's young,
Jesus.
bro. Yeah, he's really young.
Yeah, yeah. Cameron, one of the Funkadactyls, she is a year older than me.
I was gonna
Jackie
say, is that
Gator,
is that her? Okay.
yeah, Jackie Gator. She
Who the
was
hell's
the
that?
one that she was with Jamie Noble. She won the Tough Enough. She was in the Tough Enough
Oh,
competition.
Jackie. Okay.
Yep. And Dawn Marie was born in
That's the
in
Trailer Park
'70.
Girl, right?
Yep. Yep. And then notable deaths. I don't know either one of these two. Evan Lewis and Sputnik Monroe. Don't know who either one of those are. But
I forgot what Sputnik is from. Oh my god, I've heard that name. I just can't remember
let's
from
look.
where. Sputnik. Oh, hold on.
Oh, here we go. He's an old dude. Roscoe Monroe Merrick. He was born in Dodge City, Kansas in 1928. Um, and his ring names were Elvis Rock Monroe, Pretty Boy Rock Monroe, and Sputnik Monroe. And he originally was billed from Wichita, Kansas. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man.
No, he was he
Uh,
was he wrestled down here in Florida, I believe. I know he was. I think he was one of those guys that just trained a lot of guys.
yeah,
I'm not 100% on that though.
mm. Yeah. I don't know a lot of the older guys like pre golden era, you know. So I'm not
Yeah,
really
I mean,
privy to
if I
that.
know any of them, it's if I know them, it's only because they've trained a really big wrestler.
Yeah, yeah. And Ryan says what? And he says, "Sorry, I cannot not do it when I hear Stone Cold Steve Austin." Right? Um,
It's okay.
but
JR
yeah,
does the same thing. What?
yeah. What? But yeah. So we had next. We're going to talk about NXT Halloween Havoc. Chris, what a show! What a fucking show! Let's hear
Yeah,
about it.
very good show.
Yep, let's
So
hear
we
about it.
started
Tell us
off
about
with the tables, ladders, and scares match.
it. Mm.
Um, we had Tony D'Angelo versus Obafemi. 15 minutes of two guys that just absolutely beat the brakes off of each other, man.
Yeah.
I'm a little confused of the direction for Obafemi right now. I don't
Mm-hmm.
doubt that he's destined for big things,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like him going over Oba twice just kind of rubs me the wrong way. The second match is
Mm.
better than the first match.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh,
Then we had Julia. And,
Isn't Oba supposed to
sorry,
get that call up?
I'm not sure. I have no
Mm.
idea.
Okay. Believe it
Then
when we
we
see
had
it.
Julia. Huh? Yeah, exactly. Then we had Julia and Stephanie Valkyra against Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. This is Cora Jade's first match since she has returned. Um, I thought she did pretty decent. Again, I think she's going to need to prove herself a little bit more for me. Stephanie Valkyra, man, is one of the most impressive in-ring girls I've ever seen in my life. That Spinal Tap finish that she did was phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah. She's really good.
Then we had Ridge Holland against Andre Chase. I thought this was the weakest match on the card. I'm not really sure what they're doing with Ridge Holland. It kind of seems like HBK just doesn't know when to give up on talent, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I don't know. Something about Ridge is just not clicking.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a feeling that Andre Chase is near the chopping block. I hope I'm wrong on that, but I feel like he's near the chopping block.
Well, if
But
he
Ridge
is
Holland
near
won that match.
if he is near the
Go ahead.
chopping block, do you think that it might be a call up because he's so fucking over in NXT?
So I was having this conversation with somebody on Twitter about this, and I don't know. I feel like he's really good, and I worry about where his placement would be on the main roster because his gimmick is kind of built for NXT Warehouse.
Okay.
And I think if done right, he could be just as over as Enzo and Cass was. But I'm not very confident in uh, Triple H's entertainment booking versus his wrestling booking, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, Next up, we had the gauntlet match, Fallon Henley against Kalani Jordan. Fallon also had JC Jane and Jasmine Nix take on take on Kalani before Fallon came in. I thought this was a pretty good match. Kalani is one of those talents that I feel like has been very protected since she debuted on NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the way that they had Fallon Henley win, I think it made her look great. But then they debuted Delta to beat the ever living fuck out of all three of them. So Delta is here. Delta is here, and she absolutely destroyed all three of them. We'll get
Didn't they
into
give her
her
name
debut
change?
after we go over Raw. Yeah, so her name is now Zariah.
Hmm. Okay.
Then we had Trick Williams against Ethan Page. They got about 20 minutes in the match, and again, man, I'll say this every goddamn time. Ethan Page is one of the very best signings that WWE as a whole has ever done.
Yeah.
And I think he has everything it takes to be a main roster player. I think he has everything it takes to be a world champion. Um,
Yeah.
I love everything that he does. I love the way he delivers his promos. Um, shit, man, give him Ethan Page against Punk, against Rollins, against AJ Styles. He can over deliver in those feuds.
Yeah.
Now, my question is, how do you debut him? Because again, Ethan is great. So you either call him up in the Rumble, like a traditional way to call people up, bring them up in the draft, which recently we've seen how the draft is treating talents, unfortunately. Um,
Yeah.
I think WWE is in a really weird place with the NXT main roster connection where we're connecting stories, but when we're doing call ups, nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Um, Look at Baron Corbin. I mean, they just let the guy walk.
Yep.
I'm absolutely devastated over Baron Corbin.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you guys haven't heard,
Um,
there's three people that got released this week. And what is being called like the first wave of releases. I don't know like if it's going to be more, but we got Baron
I heard
Corbin.
that it was just
Oh, it's just them.
mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So we got Baron Corbin. Who was the other two? I can't remember.
Indy Hartwell and Tegan Knox.
Yeah, Indy Hartwell and Tegan Knox. Two of the three I felt kind of that was shitty that they got released. Uh, and then Tegan Knox, I was kind of like, hey, bro,
So
any big events happening soon? Not really.
so I think the the thing with Indy, man, is again, she's another one of those her gimmick works for a warehouse type deal,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And I don't feel very confident in what she's going to do outside of WWE. I hope I'm wrong because Indy's a wonderful human being,
yeah,
but I don't think that she's going to be a standout in the Indies. No pun intended. Um,
yeah,
Tegan, I always felt like her injuries kind of solidified where her career was going to go. People were saying, "Oh, well, if she's not being put on TV, how is she going to get over?" Okay, well, they tried to get her over with Natty for a solid month and couldn't do it, so
yeah, yeah.
she's gone.
That.
Um,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say with the Baron Corbin situation, um, I think Triple H was in control too late to save Baron Corbin's career
Oh yeah,
because I said it from the beginning, man. Vince McMahon torched and destroyed that man's career. And Triple H tried. They put him in NXT, and he thrived, but then he got called up and nothing. So I don't know, man. I feel so bad for him though.
Look, honestly, I'd love to see Baron Corbin with a redemption story if they decide to go, like, if he decides to work the Indies. I would love to see him in a redemption story, kind of like they did with Dolph Ziggler, right? Where Ziggler goes to like TNA and busts his ass. I mean, because we know Corbin's a hell of a worker. That man is phenomenal. Let him go and become a megastar in TNA or a megastar in MLW or somewhere that's going to allow him to like redeem himself or redeem his character or build upon it because that man can do anything. He's phenomenal. He's great.
Any anything.
Keep his
I
ass
think
away
he's
from Tony Khan, though.
one of the best and safest workers.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, Also, you were talking about like how do you debut Ethan Page, and I don't want to see him come up in a draft. I don't. I'd love to see him
I don't either.
and I'd love to see him debut in the Rumble, or if Punk has like a match at Survivor Series, which they're building up Survivor Series now, or maybe the last pay per view of the year. You have him interfere in the match with Punk, cause Punk the match, because that would be a continuation of a storyline. Ryan says they should have kept Baron and Braun together and moved them up as a tag team to the main roster. Although I do like, however, how over Braun is right now. Dude's a beast, and I want him to be the next Paul Heyman guy. That's not something I've ever thought about. I mean, Braun can talk, like, and that's the thing. I think that they put people, they put Paul Heyman in positions where people can't talk, and so he's their
Right.
mouthpiece. But that would be an interesting pairing. What do you think about that?
So my thing with the tag team is, yeah, the Lone Wolves would have been really cool to bring on the main roster, but the problem with that is Braun just outshines Baron in star power, and it would hurt Baron more than it would benefit him.
Yeah. What do you think about him being paired or Braun being paired with Paul Heyman?
So when he was in NXT, I feel like yeah, maybe, but now that we know he can talk, I don't think it'll benefit him at all.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I like how I think that would be a great pairing, but you wouldn't really need Paul Heyman for that, for that matter, unless you wanted to push Braun to
Right.
super over. But I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Right.
Oh man, but yeah, going back to Ethan Page, I'd love to see Ethan Page reignite that feud that was started with Punk and NXT. Bring it to the main roster. You need a continuation of a storyline that happened that would be like, this is why I'm here, right? Because we've seen part of it. On Raw where Ava was talking to Adam Pearce. By the way, Adam Pearce, let's just take a moment to fucking. Adam Pearce is the goddamn G. He's the goddamn man. And we'll get into why we feel that. But anyways, and we seen Ethan Page interrupt them and say one of your superstars interrupted my match. So that was planting seeds as to what would happen. Now, I know you and I, Chris, we kind of want that to happen. And if they do bring that to fruition, and we've talked about this in other shows, that would be fucking awesome. That would be just great. Continue the storyline. Both of those guys can talk. And
Page and Punk alone in them incredible.
mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I do like what I really liked about Ethan Page in this last match that he had was leading up to it. I want to say the week before, and I sent the video in our group chat, was Ethan Page came out with his own diss track to Trick Williams.
So good.
And
it was so good. It was so good.
It was so good. And he rapped to the 1-2 Freddy's Coming For You song. And that shit was so sick. Yeah. Oh my god, it was good.
So good, bro. It had no business being as good as it was.
No, absolutely not. But all right, Raw was fucking awesome. Or sorry, um, Halloween Havoc was awesome. So we're moving on to Raw.
Yep.
Uh, Look, man, I'm gonna be honest. I felt like Raw was a throwaway show. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah, Raw was horrible.
Raw was shitty. There's a few decent moments, but overall, I was kind of like, I could have slept on this one.
And here's the thing about that too, man, is like I feel like what it was going against the World Series, that Triple H would at least put some effort into the goddamn show, and he didn't
Yeah,
like at all.
no, no, and I don't know if it was because they were prepping to go to Saudi, or if Triple H just had an off night. But that show sucked balls. Like I said, there was a handful of decent moments in the show, but they weren't great. Like the crowd was hot, dude. The crowd in Hershey was hot, and like generally Hershey's always hot, right? But the show opened up,
Mm-hmm.
and we had Jimmy and Jay do a segment, and essentially they reunited. Jay said, whatever we had in the past, like, well, first off, I think the delivery line that he said that was like the most impactful was he said something to the effect of, when we split and you left, I became main event Jey Uso and I became a singles champion. And he said, I did it by myself. And then he said,
Yep.
but but what means more to me than being a singles champion is being your brother, being your twin. And I was like, oh, I got the feels for that, right? And I know, Chris, this is something that you really didn't want to see. Like you were kind of like, man, what the fuck are they gonna do with Jay? How'd you feel about this?
So when we get to Crown Jewel and talk about how the way the match went, I feel a little bit more at ease with the Jay thing because again, I don't want this to impact his singles push.
Yeah,
Um, I like Jay Uso as a singles guy. The Usos are arguably one of the greatest tag teams of all time, but I think we're in 2024 and the Usos don't need to be a tag team anymore. Um,
yeah,
I don't know what Jimmy Uso is going to do outside of a tag team because it doesn't really feel like they have ever put any kind of effort into a singles push for him or a singles run at all. But Jay is clearly the star out of the two.
yeah,
And I think when this whole War Games thing is done, I just hope more than anything that Jay is just back on his own.
yeah. Absolutely, I agree. Um, and I think that has a lot to do with like the backstage stuff that's happened. If you look at the two, Jimmy and Jay, Jay's a lot more problematic than Jimmy has been. Or sorry, Jimmy's more problematic than Jay has been, right? And Jimmy's got a few strikes on him with the company, with the wellness policy, as far as like DUIs and stuff like that. And Jay's a little. I think he's only got one, which one is too many. Let me just say that
Yeah,
one is
he's got
fucking
one.
too many. And coming from somebody who has a DUI, right? Like one is too many. Um, so yeah, I think the other part of the promo that really stuck out to me was when Jay said, that they used to confuse you and I, and they know who I am now. They don't do that shit no more. And that stuck out a lot because I mean, and I started to think about that. In the moment, I wasn't really thinking about it, but yesterday there's I think Corey, or it was either Corey or Michael. One of them pointed out the fact that that line was brought up, and then I thought back to a time where Roman was like called Jay Jimmy, and he was like, "But I'm Jay," and he was like, "Does it matter?" Right? And and that stuck out to me because now they know who Jimmy is and they know who Jay is. Right? There's a huge difference, right?
Yep.
Even from the hair, presentation, all that shit. They know who they are. Um, Next, we had Sheamus versus Kaiser. Throwaway match that we've seen before. You know, Sheamus defeated Kaiser. I feel like
Decent
at
match
this,
though.
it was a decent match. I feel like at this point in his career, Sheamus should not be beating Kaiser, in my personal opinion.
I think Sheamus deserves at least a little bit of a renaissance since, we didn't know if he was even going to come back.
Very true.
Um, I feel like he's at the point of his career where either you're going to give him one last title run or just, like you just said, he shouldn't be going over.
Yeah. There was a spot in here that they pointed out. The Bleacher Report pointed out, and it's when Kaiser had Sheamus in the guillotine, and it looked like he was going to choke him out on the outside of the ring. Sheamus rammed him into the fucking steel steps, and that was impressive. Um, next,
Yeah.
next we had Ivan Isle versus Zelina Vega. Once again, I love Zelina. And I think one of the cooler things was when she was making her debut, Zelina found a sign that says "Push Zelina," which was really cool to see. I would love to see Zelina win the women's heavyweight championship, at least one of them at one time. It could even be for a month and then give it away. But she definitely deserves it. She's a fucking workhorse. But this match was real, in my opinion, was really good. We seen Ivan Io
Yeah.
beat Zelina. But I was really impressed with Zelina in this match.
Mm-hmm.
Next we had a backstage segment with Sami Zayn and Jay. Pretty much, Sammy was like, "What are you doing? Like, are you doing this again? Like, the whole point was to break away from your family." And Jay was like, "It's about family, and you know nothing about that, right?" And so that would end up leading into some events that happened yesterday. Next, we had the New Day versus War Raiders versus LWO. Dude, how fucking impressive are the War Raiders since they've returned?
Yeah. Triple H has taken the chains off of them completely. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with New Day. I got nothing. I really have nothing.
I don't know either, man. I'm interested. I'm really interested, right? Because like we've seen Chad Gable come out and attack or do the ankle lock on Kofi to pull him out of the ring. Now, are we going to get that feud between? I mean, we are getting a match between Chad Gable and Kofi tomorrow, but how's that gonna work? Like, when is the New Day's reunion? Isn't it like or their anniversary of them being a tag team?
I think it's soon. I don't know when exactly it is, but I'm assuming that would be when you would pull the trigger. Which okay, if we're building up to that, sure. But
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, dude, honestly, I'd love to see a Rockers moment, right, where one of them absolutely annihilates the other one. And I want to say personally, I would love to see Xavier Woods do that, but I wouldn't be surprised if Kofi did. We have never seen a Kofi heel or a heel
Could you
Kofi.
imagine if Kofi though? Kofi as a
God,
heel would be awesome
yeah, it would, which would really
and
throw everybody for
unexpected.
a loop. Yeah, it would be completely unexpected, throw everybody for a loop because everybody's seeing these heel tendencies from Xavier Woods, right? Like you don't see them from Kofi.
Yep.
So that would be a complete fucking shock right there. Next we had, Seth Rollins Seth Rollins promo where he was out and pretty much hyping up their match for Saudi Blood Money or Crown Jewel, and Bronson Reed said, "I'm not allowed in the building, but I'm out here in the parking lot. Come get me, big boy." And they both went at it, dude. They clashed. Seth hit a stomp on a car, and Seth was like, "You must have forgotten who the fuck I am." He was like, "Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Hove." And Bronson Reed popped back up and started beating the dog shit out of all the security guards. And Seth was going to do another stomp on a Bronson. Bronson threw that goddamn trash can, hit him, and Bronson ended up doing a Death Valley driver from the trailer through the table. God, if these two don't have fucking chemistry, Chris, I think we lost Chris. I think we might have lost Chris. But anyways, these two have phenomenal chemistry. Like
And I think
great.
is
Oh, go ahead.
some of the most fun I've seen.
Oh, we lost you for a second. What did you say?
Yeah, no, hold on, my shit keeps freezing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Oh no, we lost you again. Oh. Okay, we're there. We got you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Bronson and Seth have amazing chemistry. I think it's definitely the most fun on the main roster right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And their match, I'm just going to say this, their match at Crown Jewel was amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, especially like, and we'll get into that later. Fuck, I don't want to do this right now. But okay, I'm just going to leave that there. So next we had Dominic Mysterio going against a former world heavyweight champion. Oh, we lost Chris. Damn it. Anyways, we had Dominic Mysterio going against a former world champion, and in our group chat, we were kind of like speculating who it would be. We got Damian Priest. There's nothing against Damian Priest, but this is a match we've seen a handful of times already, and we wanted to see something new. So it looks like they may be reigniting this feud with Dom and Damian Priest. Really good match. We had everybody, from Judgment Day come out and distract, and we seen Dom pick up the win with a roll up, a surprise roll up. It wasn't that bad, but it wasn't that great of a match. Definitely not one of Dom's better matches. So that was Raw. Overall, like I said, Raw was a throwaway show. All right, Chris. Chris said he's going to be back in a minute. No worries, no worries. We're going to cover SmackDown. Let's look at the SmackDown results. Now, SmackDown was pre-recorded, so a lot of people already knew what was happening. StreamYard crash. Okay. No worries, no worries. Our streaming crash firm. So, anyways, next we had a pre-recorded show from Hershey, Pennsylvania, and it was recorded literally right after Raw, so the crowd got a bonus from the show. First, we had a promo with Nia Jax where she was hyping up why she would be the inaugural Crown Jewel Women's Champion. Which, if you didn't see Crown Jewel, essentially there was a men's championship and a women's championship that were being presented, and the men that were competing in it was Cody and Gunther, which was really good, really good build up between the two. And then we had Liv Morgan and Nia Jax in that match. So Nia just comes out and pretty much says, I'm going to squash you. And we had Liv come out, and Liv was talking shit. Yeah, SmackDown was surprisingly really good. Yes, it was. And then Nia, and then Liv came out and said, I own more wins over you than you have over me, and that's why I'm going to win, and because I have Raquel. Then Tiffany came out and said that both you need to hold the fuck on, because whoever loses, I'm going to cash in on them, right? So there was that. That led to a match between Liv Morgan and Tiffany Stratton. And the match was really good. It was a really good match. I enjoyed it. Once again, Tiffany Stratton, she showed off her athleticism, and Liv Morgan showed why she is the daunting heel in this whole thing. With the interference from Dominic and from Raquel. It was a solid match. Liv Morgan had this counter into a code breaker. This shit looked awesome. It looked sick. It looked like it hurt. Next, we had the Street Profits versus Pretty Deadly. Another fun match, man. And god damn, anytime the Street Profits like are out there on TV, they make the most of it. Right? There's nothing that they don't do that is not that is not great. Right? Like I enjoy everything that they do. They picked up the win in phenomenal fashion. Liv Morgan's progress has been phenomenal to see. Yes. Oh God, yeah. To see this version of Liv Morgan, this is what I wanted to see when she was fighting against Ronda Rousey. Um, but better. Montez deserves a damn push. Yes, he does. And you know what? Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I read a little bit of a snippet from interview Montez Ford did, and Montez talked about how he felt that Bobby Lashley's injuries hurt the Street Profits, and he didn't say anything negative about Bobby Lashley. He said that Bobby, he looked up to him as a mentor, but he said that the fact that Bobby would get hurt, come back, get hurt, come back, get hurt, come back, hurt their progress as a tag team and as a stable, right? Because I can honestly say, I think Montez has been hurt one time. Dawkins has never been hurt. Yeah, Bobby who? Bobby who? I feel like we need to make that a meme. We need to bring that up. Thank you, Lesnar. Yeah. But they have not, as a tag team, been hurt. But Bobby Lashley, when he was in charge of that group, would be hurt, come back, be hurt, come back, be hurt, come back. And it helped, it hurt their push quite a bit. And so I would love to see what they do without Bobby. And I know that they have been without Bobby for a few months now, and they're doing great work. But I want to see them either in a tag team championship position where they hold the tag team championships. Obviously, I would love to see them versus Motor City Machine Guns. Great. That would be a great fucking match between the two. Old man Lashley ruined a lot of feuds, unfortunately. Yes, he did. Yes, he did, and that's unfortunate. And there was an interview that we got from Bobby Lashley where he talked about him wanting to do a feud with Gunther, where he wanted to pretty much call Gunther a Nazi and like do a racial tension. And Triple H shot that shit down. So I mean, Triple H is racist, right? That's what they say. Anyways, going back to it, I would like to see the Street Profits either in in possession of the tag team championships, or they need to split them up and have Montez go solo and have him run the gauntlet and become a world heavyweight champion. I would love to see him as a world heavyweight champion. That man is crazy. Lost respect for Lashley after that. Yeah, yeah. Especially when people were yelling that Triple H is racist, and MVP indicated that. Bobby who? Bobby who?
Dude,
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
no, you're good, man. No worries. No worries. Next, we seen a pre-recorded interview or a pre-recorded video with Kevin Owens, and Kevin was like, "I don't want to do this." He was like, "I don't want to fight you. I don't want to, but now I have to, and I'm gonna fucking hurt you." He said, "I'm gonna hurt you." Meanwhile, this is a point that I've pointed out, and Chris has noticed this, and I think JR noticed this. KO is wearing shirts from the fathers of the people he's feuding with.
Uh-huh.
So, like, in every one of the pre-recorded interviews, he's got a Dusty Rhodes shirt on. If you notice that, like, and they're different shirts, right? So he's a menace. And then Crown Joey wears a Cowboy Bob Orton shirt. What a fucking menace. Little details. Little details. Yeah, it was really great. So next we had Naomi and Bayley versus Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae, and unfortunately, this is Indy's last appearance on WWE TV currently. We don't know if she will be rehired or not, but we had Naomi and Bayley go over Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. Really good match. Very entertaining match.
Yeah, that was good. I think Candice does a better job at working the camera and, doing crowd work, and I think that's where the disconnection with Indy was on the main roster. Is again her gimmick is meant for a warehouse. It's meant for I don't want to say casual fans, but like hardcore NXT fans.
Yep. Yep.
And Indy's great. She had her moments in NXT, but unfortunately, she's just one of those people that didn't grow.
And I'm going to say this: she lost Dexter,
Yep.
which was a big part of her character.
Yep.
In a way, I feel Candice has outgrown Indy.
100%.
Especially with the Speed Championship and all that stuff.
Mm.
She doesn't need Candice, right?
Right.
Or sorry, Candice doesn't need Indy, right? And that's kind of a shitty situation
and again,
to be in.
that goes back to the pandemic. The pandemic was the way. Remember, everybody was craving for the way to come back, and then everybody got called up. Dexter got lost in the mix, and look what he's doing now. Dexter is on top of the freaking world with Bo Dallas.
Yes.
And Gargano is still just Gargano. Austin Theory is there.
Yep. One thing that I forgot to point out about Raw was closing Raw. Jimmy and Jay linked up again, and they were talking amongst each other about Sammy. And Jimmy was like, "Hey, I'll go talk to Sammy." And Jay's like, no, don't do it. And Jimmy's like, no, I will. And then they turned around as they were turning. They saw Sammy talking to Solo in the SUV. And that was kind of like a, oh shit moment. Like, is Sammy actually gonna join the, be an honorary Oos for the new bloodline? Is he gonna turn,
right?
There's so many unanswered questions. But anyways, we have Roman and Jimmy come out on SmackDown next, and they cut a promo. And this is something that I had seen after Raw went off the air as it was being posted. And Jimmy was hyping up and saying, "Hey, look, you got to squash this beef with Jay, right?" And fucking Roman was kind of like, whatever. Crowd's chanting, squash the beef," which was cool. And then Jay came out, and Jay pretty much said, this time around, if we're doing this time around, like, you're not in charge of anything. We are equals, which was awesome to hear. Really awesome to hear. He said, you're not going to boss me around. None of that, because we are equals now. And if we are equals, you're going to treat me with respect. And if I see the first sign of disrespect or you ordering me around, I'm gone. Loved it. And then Roman held the thing, and everybody didn't know what he was going to say. And then Roman put some bass in his voice, and he was like, yeet. Right? So that was cool to see. And then they held the ones up, which is really cool to see. So we got the reformation of the OG bloodline. I really enjoyed it. And let me just say, like, from Crown Jewel, like watching Crown Jewel, I haven't really paid attention, but goddamn, Roman is ripped.
Yeah.
Roman is jacked, boy. Yeah, he's a fucking animal. But here's the thing. Roman has yet to apologize for any of his actions. He has not apologized for shit. He hasn't apologized to Jimmy. He hasn't apologized to Jay.
When we talk about whatchamacallit, Crown Jewel, there's a lot of little nuggets in there before the match even started.
Yeah. He hasn't apologized for anything, right? And like, that's another seed of dissension, right? That could be planted in there.
Yep.
Next we had a really great fucking match, a really great fatal 4-way match between Io Sky, Bianca Belair, Lash Legend, Piper.
That match was fantastic.
God, dude, look. We know what Piper Niven can do. We know what Io Sky can do. We know what Bianca can do. But this insertion of Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, changes everything. Jesus, both of those women are so fucking good.
Especially Lash.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Look, man, I would give all of my money to see and look fantasy book in here, and I know it's probably gonna happen soon. Lash Legend against fucking God damn it, what's her name?
Jade.
Jade.
Sold.
Yeah,
Sold.
give me all.
Sold. All my
Yeah,
money. All
you
my
get
money.
you get
Sold.
you give me a you name a price and I'll do it. But anyways, dude, great fucking match between all four of these women, man. Piper went out, she showed her ass. Bianca went out there, she showed her ass. Io showed her ass. Lash showed her ass, respectively. Um, but they went out and they did the damn thing, man. Io picked up the win when she hit the moonsault and pinned Lash Legend. Rightfully so. These these women, goddamn. Like I just look, man. I don't even care who won and who lost because I was just thoroughly entertained.
All four teams were great. All four teams
Yes,
got the brightest shine.
yeah, yeah, dude. And I dare. Well, once we get to Crown Jewel, we'll talk about that. But next we have Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes versus Gunther and Ludwig. Look here, this is something that a lot of people may or may not have picked up on prior to the match, but Cody was, lacing his boots up, and Randy came in. Randy was talking to him, and Cody wasn't paying attention, but he kept looking back at that championship. He kept looking at it, and it's like they're planting those seeds, man. Something's gonna happen, and I don't know if it's gonna be because of this match with KO that Randy's gonna fucking turn on Cody,
I
but it's
think
coming.
I think Owens and Cody are working, or I mean Owens and Randy are working together. I think this is all just an illusion because there's something that Michael Cole said. I don't remember if it was at Crown Jewel or if it was on SmackDown, but he said the thing about Cody Rhodes' title reign is he's been in control this whole time. This is the most that Cody's been knocked off of his game with Gunther, with Cody. I mean, with Owens, with Randy. There's three really big sore thumbs right there,
Yeah.
and he took care of. Well, we'll get to that, but
Yeah.
yeah, Cody. I don't think we're gonna see him drop the title until maybe like WrestleMania, maybe SummerSlam, which I'm cool with.
Yeah.
But I think whoever is the person to take that title off of him is going to be somebody very close to him.
Yes. I mean honestly because they pointed out at Crown Jewel how long KO has not had a singles championship. I would
Yep.
love to see KO take it off of him.
He needs another. He needs another goddamn title reign. The last title reign he got was ruined by Goldberg
Yep. Yep. They
and disrespect.
disrespected him. Yeah. They disrespected the living shit out of him.
Yeah.
But anyways, dude, solid match between Imperium and KO and Randy. Both teams hard hitting match. And then we seen Randy and Cody pick up the win. And then right after the match, as they're celebrating, KO comes out and hits Randy with a chair. Right in the knee. And that was it. He hit him with a chair and backed off. And then as Cody's coming in to attack KO, here comes Gunther with the fucking rear naked choking. Chokes him out.
That was a really good ending for SmackDown.
Yes, yes. Solid ending for SmackDown. That was something that needed to be done. They needed to have a dominant, like, fucking champion or a dominant showing for the end of SmackDown. And then I'm going to look up the Crown Jewel results. I know what they are already. But, okay, Bleacher Report. All right, so anyways, we're going to go. Look, man, the show started out strong. I didn't think that we were going to get Roman or get the OG bloodline versus the new bloodline right off the bat, right? And Chris, you had when that had happened, you said it's good to see Roman take a back seat for once,
Yep.
and it is. It's very refreshing.
Long overdue.
When was the last time that we seen Roman go first?
I think JR said 2022.
I hit the wrong button. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a hot minute since he took a back seat. So we seen the new bloodline come out first, and then we seen Roman and Jimmy come out, and we had Jake come out. What were some of those Easter eggs prior to the match even starting, Chris?
So, Michael Cole had pointed out that Roman Reigns has not apologized. Roman Reigns is a narcissist. When Jimmy and Roman came out, Jay was notably not with them because he did his own entrance. Jay's coming through the crowd, everybody's yeeting with him. Camera pans to Roman, and he just looks disgusted. He just looks like, oh my God, somebody else getting a spotlight, and it's not me. And I posted on Twitter. I said, "Hey Roman, the camera's on you right now, bro. Your narcissist is showing." Very, 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 very good storytelling there because again, like we alluded to, he still has not apologized for anything to either one of them.
Yeah.
And I still feel like he doesn't feel the need to apologize.
No. I think it's going to take something big for him to apologize.
Yeah. And with the way the match went down, Jay stood his ground on what he said about them all being equals when Roman wanted that tag. Jay's like, nah, bro, you're not going to tell me who to fucking tag.
he tagged in Jimmy.
Too good, bro.
What I really liked was how him and Roman were like kind of at the beginning of the match. They were like really tense, and Jay's like, I'm going to start the match.
Bro, I'm going to start. You sit the fuck back, bro. I'll start.
And Roman's like, okay, fine.
All right, man. You got him.
But I will say, man, the crowd was red hot for Roman, and then red hot for fucking Jay.
Can we just talk about the fact that Tama Tonga is fucking over with the crowd as a goddamn heel? What?
Tama's too good.
Yeah, dude. When he started doing his Tasmanian chant and they did it with him, I'm like, bro, what is going on?
Yeah, definitely. And like here, let's think about this. It's been 18 months since the Usos have tagged together. It doesn't feel like that. Yeah. It doesn't feel like that long.
Wow, yeah, last WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, when they lost the tag team champion. Well, yeah.
Oh no.
Because
whatchamacallit, the Bloodline Warfare or whatever.
Money in the Bank.
Right.
Yeah. Jesus. Look, man, we saw the new Bloodline pick up the win.
Much needed.
Much needed, but I didn't think Roman was going to clean pin on Roman.
Bro, to put it into perspective, this man has pinned John Cena and Roman Reigns, two of the biggest stars that WWE has done in the modern day era, clean.
In years back to back.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, they are if that's not pushing Solo, I don't know what is.
I think they're trying to keep his momentum going as a heel, and I think Triple H is determined to make people believe him.
Oh yeah. So then the Bloodline came and attacked Roman. The new Bloodline attacked Roman. Jimmy tried to make the save. Jay was nowhere to be found.
Right.
And Jimmy was trying to make the save. They beat Jimmy down. Then Jay came, and Jay got jumped, and then we saw Sammy come out. Now, here's the weird thing, man. Sammy was not dressed like his normal self.
Right.
In a way, he was kind of giving off heel vibes.
Mm-hmm.
And he stood in the ring, and Solo, was like Come on, join me. And then he went in for the hug, and I was actually like, okay, he's gonna hug him, and I'd be okay with it, right? Like I would have been mad, but then he hit the fucking T-bone suplex on Solo and started taking out the new bloodline. Then they brawled, and we got Solo in the middle of Jimmy, Jay, Sammy, and Roman. Roman and Sammy went for their respective finishers, and Roman got taken
That
out by
took
the
was
Haluva kick.
fucking vicious.
Yes, yes, it was.
Like the
That
impact of that was brutal.
look, man. Here's the thing: Sammy hasn't gotten his revenge on Roman.
Right? Well, technically speaking, he did.
I mean,
hit
he
him with
broke
the
his family up. He hit him with the chair,
and then had
but
his match at Montreal.
he had his match in Montreal that he didn't win,
Mm-hmm.
but he broke up his family. He helped break up the family, but he hasn't beaten Roman,
That's fair.
right? And so, in a way, I looked at that as kind of like a payback.
What if Sammy somehow joins Solo for War Games,
Ooh.
and he's the one to pin Roman?
5v5.
Mm-hmm.
Who would join? Would it be Motor City Machine Guns join?
Yeah, I mean, why not?
I would be
That'd be
okay
a
with Motor City.
hell of an endorsement for them, but I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I mean Hikuleo. We got Hikuleo still in the wings, and
He's
we
going on
also
NXT supposedly.
yeah. I mean we got Hikuleo in the wings, but we also have the unknown of Zilla. Nobody knows what's going on with Zilla because
Right.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing on social media. Zilla fucking claimed Roman as the tribal chief, so we know what's going to happen. I mean, we have a good idea what can happen.
Right.
If he joins. Every time I've seen him on, if he joins, every time I've seen him on TikTok Live, he's wearing an OTC shirt.
Mm. It's definitely interesting to see the different possibilities right now.
There are so many possibilities. It's ridiculous. I mean, we could get Juicy Fatu. I hope not.
I don't dislike Juicy. I just feel like the type of wrestling that he does is just he's not a good fit.
Look, man, and I'm gonna throw this out there, and I'd like to see Rikishi make one return, one comeback. I love Rikishi.
Could he still go?
I think he can.
Yeah.
He's old, but he's not that old, right? Yeah, I mean, he's not really. I mean, he hasn't had any health scares recently, so I would think that he's all right.
This is true.
But anyways, moving on from the bloodline. Next, we got the Fatal 4-Way for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Dude, I feel they need a tag team name unless they're gonna break them up soon. Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. We had Io Sky and Kairi Sane, and we had Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Dude, all of these women
killed it.
Put on a hell of a show. Yes. I love the spot where Chelsea Green got up to the top rope like she was going to do a fucking trust dive, and she was like, nope. Got down, nope. And then she ended up getting taken out. Right. That was entertaining. Dude, that top rope insane elbow to the outside.
Bro,
so good.
That jump off of Lash's shoulders by Jakara was awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Also, there was a spot in that match where Lash picked up Kairi Sane like she was a fucking child and threw her on her shoulders. I'm like, brother, what the fuck is Lash made out of? That was crazy.
Yeah. Look, man, and I think the most impressive thing, and it's not necessarily impressive because of the move, the strength, was the close of the match where we seen the Doomsday Device, but fucking Jade picked up Piper Niven on her shoulders and held her there. Dude, nothing against Piper. I love her, but she's a big girl. She's a big girl.
Mm-hmm.
And that shows the power of Jade and how fucking strong that woman actually is. Really good match, though.
Her ring work a lot. I'm not so sure that a baby face works for her still,
Yeah.
um, because she still screams heel tendencies. But I will say her being with Bianca is helping her stock a lot.
Hmm. I will say that the announcers did point out that their first loss as a tag team, like losing their tag team championship last time they had them, was in a multi-team championship match. Um, they made a reference to Matt Cardona, where Corey Graves was like, "Why are you constantly hating on Chelsea Green?" And Michael Cole was like, you know, she's just a terrible human
She looks
being."
like a
And
bed
then,
sheet or whatever he said.
yeah, he said she looked like a bed sheet. And then Corey Graves is like, "Maybe you would like her if you played with action figures more." Because Matt Cardona is a massive action figure collector.
What if he's due for a return?
I think he would return at the Rumble.
I think he should come to NXT. Not because
You
he's
think
not
so?
good, but I think the men's division on NXT needs help.
Yeah, yeah, they need
I
somebody
think
big.
they're in a spot where we're pushing Ridge Holland in a main event scene, which nobody wants to see, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. I love Matt Cardona, and he actually did come out and say if I did come back, it would be as Matt Cardona. Zack Ryder's dead.
As it
I
should
loved
be.
it, as it should be, and we've talked about that quite a bit. Next, we had Seth Rollins against Bronson Reed.
God fucking Jesus. This was one of my favorite matches on the card because I'm a really big monster fan. I love monster wrestlers.
Yep.
Um, Braun Strowman is forever my favorite monster because that his Black Sheep debut is fucking just. I was in awe for when I first saw him.
Yeah.
Um, I think Bronson is very special. He reminds me a lot of Bam Bam Bigelow. A lot.
Yep.
A lot.
Yep.
Not as
Yeah.
athletic because Bam Bam was very, very athletic. But
Yeah.
Bronson can fucking go for a big guy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I loved his singlet too, man. I
I don't know
love
if
the
you know. Do you know
Spartan
who MF
helmet.
Doom is?
No.
Okay,
Who's
so
MF
he's like
doing?
a. I don't know if he's a underground. I guess sort of an underground rapper, but he's very well known in the rap community. On
Mm-hmm.
his gear, he had the MF Doom helmet on the front of
Mm.
his gear. So fucking cool.
Okay. Yeah, because people on social media were saying put his name in all caps, and I was like, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah, yeah. The
understand that
MF Doom
reference.
reference. Yeah.
Well, like I was like looking at that, and I was like Spartan helmet, but it also looked like Doomsday or like Doctor Doom.
Like Doctor Doom. Yep.
Yep.
That's why his name
And
is
so
MF Doom.
okay, it makes all the sense now. All the
Yep.
sense. But anyways, man, the match started. Didn't even start for like 5 solid fucking minutes because they were
Yeah.
fighting on the outside of the ring. Dude, that toss that Bronson Reed did over the barricade onto the chairs looked nasty, nasty. And they,
Corey's like Corey's like the best case scenario was that chair being there for Seth. I'm like, yeah, he could have really hurt Seth.
yeah, oh yeah, definitely. But there was a tsunami quick, and I thought that they were going to end the match fast. Like I thought it was going to be a squash where Bronson got in there and
I
squashed
tell
him.
you what, man, commentary does a really good job at helping the storytelling because Corey's like Bronson made the mistake of not pinning him right away. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean that's pretty good fucking point. Um,
yeah,
there is a point where Bronson picked Seth up by his throat, and Seth's like, "You should have finished me when you had a chance," and started slapping the fuck out of him. And
yeah,
then Bronson just cocks back and boom,
yep.
clotheslines the fucking soul out of that man.
Yeah, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Look, I can't wait for the next match because there's going to be there
Yeah,
has to be another match. But the match
yeah.
ended with three stomps, one to steel
Two
steps,
stomps and a
which
super stomp.
yeah, two stomps and a super stomp. Now I think Personally, I think that first stomp busted him open.
So I don't think this stomp busted him open at all. I think it's when he got tripped up on the stairs.
Oh, okay, okay.
I mean, I
Okay.
could be wrong, but that's where it looked like it happened.
That was a nasty gash, though.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I thought it was just a
The
little
fucking
cut
thing was like that
until
big.
until the camera zoomed in on him. I'm like, God damn, bro, that's a deep cut.
Yeah, yeah. But look, man, they have to do 3 matches. There's got to be a second match, and then there's got to be a. And look, I love the both of these guys, and I was saying this in the group chat. I love the both of them,
Yeah.
but I want Bronson to win this feud. I feel like he needs to win the feud.
I'm on the fence with it because I feel like monster guys can lose feuds and it not hurt them. With
Yeah,
the exception of Braun and Roman. Because I
yeah,
genuinely feel like Vince McMahon fucked over Braun Strowman.
yeah.
I think Bronson losing last night did not hurt him one goddamn bit because that
No.
closing shot of him pointing at Seth saying, come back, and
Mhm.
Seth's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? I'm telling you right now, these guys are cooking with fucking grease.
Yeah, dude. When he said that, when he was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" I was like, "Oh yeah, it's not done yet. It ain't done yet."
Yeah.
Our next match was Nia Jackson, Liv Morgan for the Crown Jewel Women's
Really,
Championship.
really, really good match, bro. I fucking love this match.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you know
You
what?
know there was.
I said it last night after I watched it. I said, I think Liv and Nia was better than Nia and Rhea because I felt like for some weird reason, Nia has to do this stupid in-ring performative bullshit just to get over in a match. And I get it. You want to prove yourself. You want to prove your strength and all that bullshit. I totally understand. But if I remember correctly, she tried to do like some ridiculous springboard to Nia, and it just didn't work out. If I remember correctly,
Yeah.
and it was just, it was one of those matches, man, where Liv held her own, and I'm a really big fan of the David versus Goliath stuff. I really am.
Yeah. Yeah. There was interference from Tiffany. Tiffany ran down and she was gonna cash in. And then Nia's like, "What are you doing?" She was like, "Oh no, don't worry. I was gonna cash in on Liv." And she said, "Right now's not the time." And then she sent her back up to the ramp. And then she seen Nia down and she ran back down. Was gonna cash in, and then we seen Raquel jump in. Raquel ended up kicking Nia off the top rope when she was going to do the Annihilator, and we got Liv with the whatever her fucking finisher move is, the Oblivion, and it looked, oh dude, Nia sold that shit perfect too,
so good,
beautiful,
so
and
good.
so yeah, and so Liv Morgan is your inaugural Crown Jewel Women's Champion.
That title is fucking gorgeous, by the way.
Whoever says that it's not is on crack. I will say that.
And here's my thing. So like, I get the blood money thing. I really do. I genuinely understand why people started saying it. But here's my thing, man. If you're going to stand on that belief about Saudi, stop supporting Walmart, stop supporting Apple, stop supporting Sony, stop supporting every goddamn company in the history of everything. Because WWE is not the only company that has dealings in Saudi. You think Tony Khan doesn't look at viewerships around the world? Saudi is part of that viewership, whether people like it or not.
Yeah.
Granted, Tony's not going to Saudi, but that doesn't take away the fact that Saudi is part of that viewership. Look at the differences between Vince and Triple H. Triple H created the WWE experience, which I think is one of the coolest fucking things they've ever done.
Yeah.
Yes, the whole Saudi picking the winners and paying top dollar to see certain stars is, I get it. I understand why that's frustrating for a lot of fans. I totally understand. But look at what we've been able to accomplish over there in Saudi since we've gone there. More women than have ever before have been able to compete at a high level in there. In a country where women don't have the same rights as men. I'm not justifying how they treat women. I'm not justifying their practices in their government. But you know what, man? The Saudi crowd is one of the most passionate fan bases that we see.
Mm-hmm.
And they're always so happy seeing the superstars and always so happy that people are going over there. Why is there not the same outrage for when we went to Iraq?
Yep.
I'm just saying. You know, we don't belong in fucking Iraq and Afghanistan either, but we were still fucking there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, pick a fucking outrage.
Yep. And I'll add to that. Look at how many women were in the crowd.
That's what I'm
the first
saying,
show
bro.
to now, right? Like they would not dare show a woman on the screen the very first show, but this one they were panning across the crowd.
That's what I'm
there was
saying.
one woman that stepped in the fucking ring. That was a Saudi woman.
Yeah,
that was a local national to Saudi Arabia. Stepped in that ring last night at the end of the show. That would never have happened when they started the show.
Exactly my point. And you know what? I believe that countries can evolve, countries can change. I don't think it's going to happen in the next 2 years that country is going to be different. Maybe not even 5-10 years, bro. But we're making progress in WWE with them, whether people want to see that or not.
Yeah, definitely.
It's this fake woke, fake outrage culture where we feel like we're more justified doing states fucking pay-per-views because, like, you know, the U.S. isn't fucking corrupt. Come on, bro. The whole world is fucking corrupt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't see the outrage when we go to Germany because of the Nazis, right? I don't see us, you know, being an outrage because when we go to fucking France because the French are a bunch of quitters, right? Like, it has to be justified, and it's not really justified at this point, right?
And that's the thing I fucking hate about this social media culture, bro. It's stupid. Mm-hmm. It's so stupid. If social media were to die tomorrow, bro, I'd be so happy.
Agreed. You know, and I think, you know, honestly, it is a very good partnership, a very good give and take partnership between Saudi Arabia and fucking WWE, right? Saudi is pumping a fuckload. Look, the superstars are getting paid a huge paycheck to go over there, to go do that, right? And that's an understanding, right? Some of these performers are getting paid millions to go over there and do that. Some aren't paid as well, but some are paid millions to go do that, right? And then Saudi is pumping fucking money into WWE. WWE gave them 2 shows a year. WWE gave them the WWE experience, which you said is cool, dude. That fucking thing, that's a state of the art goddamn complex.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. And it's like, again, I understand everybody's frustration with the Saudi deal. I get it, but it's like at some point, bro, you got to realize that everyone in this fucking entire world has dealings in Saudi in some fashion or another. It's like these dumbasses that say they're against capitalism and they're tweeting it from a fucking iPhone.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's fucking stupid. It makes no fucking sense.
You're promoting capitalism by tweeting on a fucking iPhone.
It's like, dog, where are you sending that tweet from? Because as sure as hell you ain't fucking sign languaging it and it fucking just going out there. You're a dumbass.
Yeah, exactly. All right, getting back to the show.
Yeah, sorry.
we no, you're good. We had Randy Orton and KO, and this match never happened. I'm just gonna put it out there. Never happened. KO came out, huge heel reception. As expected, Randy came out. The crowd was singing his song, right? Like, you seen passionate fans screaming his song in the crowd. Beautiful. And Randy was in the corner and he was doing his pose. Now, here's the thing. We were talking about how KO is a menace. He was wearing a Cowboy Bob Orton shirt. And when he's in the ring and he's waiting on his opponent, he's sitting in the corner, but he was sitting on the outside on the barricade.
Yep.
And then when Randy was in the corner doing his little Legend killer pose. KO attacked his knee. Attacked his knee, hit the chair, and everywhere, dude. And like they were brawling in the ring, out the ring. Staff came out. Like we were talking about Nick Aldis and goddamn Adam Pierce came out,
My God.
and they were trying to break everybody up. And Adam Pierce grabbed Randy. Randy hit him with an RKO, nasty RKO. And just hats off to Adam Pierce, man. He ate that RKO, right? But it didn't stop there, right? Sean Davari got thrown in the fucking corner. Jamie Noble got punched in the face. Nick Aldis almost ate a fucking stunner. And we seen it escalate to the outside to the crowd, and KO beat the dog shit out of Randy with a steel case cover, and jumped off of one of the railings and hit him with a elbow. I thought he was going for a swanton bomb. He hit him with an elbow, and that's very symbolic, right? The elbow straight to the heart. Like I'm gonna fucking, you're done. I'm gonna hurt you. Chris, what did you think of this, man? What did you think of the chaos?
Absolute chaos. I would love to see a traditional Survivor Series match with Owens and Orton. I think that would be a lot of fun. I'm curious to see where they go from here. SmackDown is a few days away, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right, I'm back. Anyways, yeah, I think there's gonna. I really hope we get a traditional Survivor Series match, man, and
Long
I hope
overdue.
it's long overdue. I would like to see Raw versus SmackDown with the champions as the team captains, or if we don't get champions as team captain, have Nick Aldis and Adam Pierce be team captains and participating, right? Because both of the men have been cleared; they both can go. Adam Pierce said on Chris Van Vliet, he was like, "I don't have to wrestle, but if I was asked to lace up my boots, I could." Right, and so like, we already know Nick Aldis is a fucking tank,
Yeah.
and we know Adam Pierce could go. So I'd love to see that. Right, take it back to Raw versus SmackDown a few years ago, where we had Shane and Kurt Angle as team captains. That'd be great. Um, I'd like to see another match between Randy Orton and KO, but a no holds barred match or a gimmick match. I don't want to see a Hell in a Cell or a steel cage.
I think they should do a unsanctioned match with Owens and Orton.
Yep. Or Boiler Room Brawl. Let's take that shit back. It's been decades. Yeah, very true. Very true. So next we had LA Knight versus Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes. Dude,
Fucking incredible match.
Yes. All three of these men show the fuck out. Andrade, god damn, Andrade is just so good. Carmelo is just so good.
Bro, the elbow spot that he did on LA Knight was crazy.
Jesus Christ. But we've seen LA Knight pick up the win. Personally, this was a runner-up for match of the night for me. And I don't know if you noticed this or not, but LA Knight has a custom strap on his United States Championship.
Yeah.
It's the LA Knight, so that's really cool. And next, we had the main event of Gunther and Cody Rhodes for the men's crown jewel heavyweight championship. Dude, I'm just gonna say Gunther beat the dog shit out of Cody. Gunther beat the dog shit out of Cody, right?
So
absolutely
I'm gonna say
brutalized him.
When the match was first starting, I was saying to my friend, how is Cody gonna out wrestle Gunther, right? And then I started thinking about it a little bit more. I'm like, okay, this man is the son of one of the most entertaining guys of the Golden Era.
Yep.
He is the brother of one of the smoothest in-ring guys, as much as I
Yep.
don't like him as a human being. And he was trained by the legend killer himself.
Yeah.
I truly think this might be one of Cody's best matches that he's ever had.
Oh yeah.
He kept up with Gunther. He countered every counter. I think this match was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, and the fact that both of these men kicked out of finishers.
Yeah.
Through was crazy. Right? Like Gunther did the running drop kick to the corner and then powerbomb Cody, and I was like, that's over. Cody kicked out. Cody,
that man's soul.
Yeah, like with at the beginning of Doctor Strange when he meets the Ancient One and she hits him into astral plane. That's what happened to Cody.
Yeah, 100%.
Cody's soul left his fucking body. And then Cody hit the crossroads, hit two of them. Gunther kicked out. I was like, how are they going to finish this? Right? So when Liv won, I was like, okay, that's a Raw person. They're going to have to go with Cody for the. I just didn't know how they were going to do it, and it was smart, and it was a callback to Brock Lesnar. Cody went to hit the super cutter on Gunther. Gunther reversed it into a rear naked choke. As he was coming back down, Cody rolled into it.
Bro, the way he caught Cody was fucking mind bending. When he caught him, I was on the mic with my friend watching it. I'm like, there's no way he's going to win, right? Like, Cody's done. Like, he just caught that man out of the cutter. Like, he's done.
Yeah.
And then I saw him rock him back and fucking pin him. I'm like, what just happened?
Right. It was so quick, too.
I lost my fucking mind. I was like, bro, that is one of the greatest finishes I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah. Yeah. It was very good, too. And it was a nice callback to SummerSlam last year, where Brock and Cody fought, and Cody was it SummerSlam or was it No Mercy? It was one of the two.
That might have been the first match they had.
Yeah, it was the first match. Yeah. So it was a nice callback to Brock and Cody's first match, and dude, what a match, dude! Just great match. Cody absolutely got his ass beat in that match. Gunther got his ass beat. It was just two men that were just beating the dog shit out of each other.
The fact that Gunther extended his hand to shake Cody Rhodes, bro, I don't care. Cody is the greatest fucking champion we've had since John Cena. I will die on that hill. Roman Reigns is great as a champion, but Cody Rhodes is fucking awesome. Whatever. I don't care.
Well, we've seen different finishers in matches, right? Like his first feud with AJ, when him and AJ went at it, he made AJ quit with the chair. And he still beat the steel steps. With the steps, and he still beat the shit out of AJ afterwards. And then his next feud, Nakamura, was it not? No, who was his next feud?
Owens?
No, it was Solo. And then
right.
Yeah, it was Solo. And then it was KO, and then Solo again. So, like, I don't know, man. This run by Cody is really impressive, and one that's
so good. It's so
good. Yeah. And to close out the show, we had both Liv Morgan and Cody in the ring receiving their respective belts at the same time, which was really cool. I thought that we were going to get a Tiffany Strat cash in at that moment. That would have been crazy.
That would have been some heat.
Because they love Liv Morgan. Saudis love Liv Morgan. But it didn't happen. And so, it is what it is. But also, we got word during the show that we are getting another retirement match in 2025. And that is Mr. Bill Goldberg. Mr. William Goldberg is retiring. Thank you. I don't have to see you on the fucking screen again. But that begs the question, who is he going to be facing?
Nobody else.
You think Gunther?
Nobody else. Nobody should be in that fucking ring besides Gunther. Absolutely fucking
Agreed.
nobody.
Agreed. And now, do you think that it's going to be for the heavyweight championship? Do you think Gunther's still going to have it? Do you think? What do you think?
It's all a matter of how they I guess how they get to WrestleMania with Gunther and who his opponents are going to be, because this is the problem that I genuinely feel that Raw has right now is we're running through the same matchups, we're running through the same contenders. The tag team championships are a prop on Raw.
Yep.
Motor City Machine Guns is the best direction that we've gotten in the tag team division in years.
Yep.
I think the mega push from them was okay. I'm not mad at it. It's off the fucking bloodline, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
Raw is hurting really fucking bad because the
Yeah.
New Day are in limbo. The Usos are no longer a tag team. The Judgment Day have been running roughshod on the roster for the past 2 years, that including Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest, which I want to go back to the Damian and Dominic Mysterio decision to main event. One, that match should have never fucking main evented. Two,
No.
I'm glad Dominic won. And three, the rating of that show, it should have been lower, in my opinion. I think that whole fucking entire card was pure dog shit. And I will stick up for fucking Triple H's booking 9 times out of 10. But man, that made it trash.
Yeah. I've read.
And again, Damian is another guy who I'm tired of. Damian is overexposed. Rhea is overexposed. Judgment Day is overexposed.
Well, here's another thing, man. Is I'm reading that they're trying to push him back into the heavyweight contendership.
I'm sure they are.
And they're trying to brand it so he's like the next big Raw star. Which good. If they're going to do that, good.
It won't work.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work. They're trying to brand the mask that he wore at WrestleMania to sell it. I mean, cool. If they're going to do that, cool. But push him in a way where he is beatable.
Here's one. Curveball. Have Dominic win this Fatal 4-Way. Have Dominic take that title off of Gunther. What better way to make Gunther look like a fool than have Dominic, the biggest heat magnet, take the title off of Gunther? And
I would like
subsequently slowly babyface turning Gunther. Because let's be honest, we're not going to have a fucking cheering marathon for Goldberg when it happens. No. So why not have babyface Gunther go over a heel Goldberg?
Yeah. I would like the Dominic idea is really good. I like that. And I know that you don't like this idea because you've seen the championship on him for a long time. I would like to see Seth take it off him because Seth is somebody that hasn't.
I wouldn't be mad
Seth
at
is
one damn.
We haven't seen Seth versus Gunther, and I'm sure that would be a phenomenal match. It would be heavy as fuck. It would be hard hitting. It would be a very brutal match, and I feel like it would come down to an ending where Goldberg cost him the match, or maybe Goldberg cost him the match against Dom. Like, think about that, right?
Didn't Seth get the title back after WrestleMania too?
No,
he didn't.
He lost it. No, because he fought against Damian.
Oh, he just had a rematch against Damian, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at this. This would be a perfect callback. It would be like Eddie and Brock,
right, from
No Way Out, before Brock and Goldberg walked out the first time, right? Brock, this would be Gunther and Dom, and Goldberg interferes. Goldberg interferes like he did back then to cause Gunther the match, and then Gunther retires Goldberg.
I have an idea. So to piggyback off the Seth idea, Seth takes off of Gunther, but Dominic takes it off of Gunther. I mean, Dominic takes it off of Seth. I think that would be pretty fucking genius, to be honest.
Yeah, but I mean, look, man, I'm gonna throw this out there. if they're gonna take the championship off of Gunther and they're gonna run with Seth, have him keep it till Mania for Punk. I know we've talked about that feud doesn't need a heavyweight championship, but
I just
but if
worry
it,
about I just worry about Punk being a champion. Not that
well,
Punk can't do it,
yeah. Well,
but
here's the thing.
good.
Hear me out. If it is in if it's in Punk's contract that he gets a main event spot at WrestleMania,
Fair. Fair.
that is the only way to do it to make it solidify A that he's going to be in the main
Didn't
event,
even think about
B Seth's feud. Because if you remember, Punk's biggest complaint his first time around was that he was never in the main event of WrestleMania, even though he was a champion, and he took a backseat to The Rock and John Cena
twice.
twice. Look, this is the way to usher that in. Seth is a heavyweight champion, and Punk wins the Rumble.
I wouldn't be mad at Punk winning the Rumble, to be completely honest with you.
I wouldn't even be mad if he lost at WrestleMania.
Genius booking.
Yeah, yeah. Or you could have Seth take the title off of whoever is the transitional champion between Gunther and Seth right before WrestleMania, and that would lead right up to Punk and Seth.
Yeah, I mean, Punk and Seth for the title wouldn't hurt anybody.
No.
Right,
Either way it goes.
Long game for Dominic. Dom takes the title off of Punk.
Oh!
Could you imagine that? Oh my god.
I mean, it could be that, or it could be Ethan Page takes it off of him.
Oh no.
No?
Way too soon for that. Way too soon for that.
No. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Yeah, that
give him a Intercontinental title run or something first, just to see where he goes with that, or even a U.S. champion wherever the fuck he goes. But god damn it, put a strap back on that man as soon as possible.
Look, man, that would be if they took the title off of Punk and gave it to Dom. That would be massive heat. A and B. I think Punk would go for it because of Eddie and because of his respect for Ray.
Yeah. There's a lot of different ways they can go about this. I really like the end game being Punk, and Seth. I just wonder how they go about doing this Fatal 4-Way. I'm assuming Bronson is going to get involved in this Fatal 4-Way. I mean,
he has to. He would have to take Seth out.
Yeah. Unless they just don't follow that up right away, which I guess I would get.
They have to.
Yeah.
But they have to like that. But where would you have? I mean, realistic.
Here's the problem what Raw is having right now. One, we have an entire hour taken away from us. Mm-hmm. So you have the Cross and Wyatt's feud, which should be on TV every fucking week and is not.
Yes.
Now you have Bronson and Seth, which is cooking. Yeah. Then you have to include the tag team title matches, which 9 times out of 10, nobody gives a fuck about right now because Judgment Day is worthless. Yeah. Then you got to consider the women. Then you got to consider Gunther. That is 3 hours worth of programming right there. And we're sitting on fucking 2 hours of whatever the fuck last week was.
Yeah.
And that was supposed to be a go-home show.
Well, one of the things that I didn't talk about that happened on Raw, but this happened on social media, was that, well, did it happen on social media or did it happen in a segment? I can't remember. Okay. The Miz got kidnapped by the Y6 in his own tour bus. In his own tour bus. But brilliant because they followed it up on social media. Karen Cross did. I don't know if you've seen this. But Scarlett showed up in his hotel, or was in the hotel and was like, hey, look, get your stuff on. We got to go. The Miz got kidnapped. Karrion Kross is like, rightfully so. He should have gotten kidnapped. Right? He's like, what problem is that of mine? And she was like, come on, let's go. And he's like, Miz will figure it out, right? It's like it's either it's carrying Cross is either playing both sides of the fence where he doesn't want to fight the Wyatts, but he wants Miz to fight them, or he just wanted the Miz to break away from R-Truth.
There's definitely a lot of interesting elements in this feud because it's like the Wyatt or Bo Uncle Howdy specifically has not said Karrion by name,
No.
and Uncle Howdy was going for Miz, not Paul Ellering.
Yeah.
So now we have these two clashing head to head, and we don't know what the Wyatt's intentions are. And Cross is just on the defense because he's like, what the fuck is going on? I want no part of this. And, clapping back with every insult he thinks is towards him. And in reality, it's towards Miz. Because as, I don't know if you saw the post or not, but the Wyatt 6 social media page posted a picture of Bo Dallas on the B team when Miz was scolding him.
Oh.
So we know the Miz is a target. But we don't know if Karrion Cross is a direct or maybe he's just collateral damage.
Look, man, there's so much to this. Like, what if? Because my understanding, I haven't even looked. I don't do Twitter. I haven't looked at the Miz's Instagram. I haven't seen anything from the Miz this weekend or this week, for that matter. What if the Y6 show up and they drag Miz to the ring, right? And then they put him in the middle of the ring and cut a promo. Or they do a backstage or like a pre-recorded video of the Miz being tortured. Or like they're going in the more sadistic thing. What if they have him locked up? Have you ever seen A Clockwork Orange?
Yes.
Okay, you remember the spot in the movie? It's like right toward the end where they had the eyes wide open, right? What if they have that on the Miz and they're forcing him to watch every bad thing he's ever done?
Plot twist. Here's my idea. I like yours a lot. I think that works. I don't know how well it would sell on TV just because social media and all that shit's weird.
Yeah.
Have Bo Dallas sit in that chair, talk about the B team, talk about the Miz and what he did, and then evolve into the Uncle Howdy character again. Because since the beginning of when this started happening, right, we've seen Bo just, talk about how WWE pretty much ruined him, how he lost his brother, and that's why he's doing what he's doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we have layers to the story. I'm going to compare this to Stardust for a second.
Ooh.
Cody Rhodes left because of Stardust. Cody Rhodes left because of his frustrations. Bo Dallas came in, immediately got a title put on him, did the Bo Leave gimmick. Then that evolved to the B team. Then that evolved to the fucking social outcasts and whatever else they did with him. Bo Dallas was left for dead by the Miz.
Yeah.
When he did the B team, he was there for nothing. Same with Curtis Axel, who I genuinely hope he would come back to wrestling one day because I think Curtis Axel was fucking incredible. That being said, I think Bo Dallas should be the one to have any kind of promo, not Uncle Howdy. Bo Dallas.
Yeah.
Put him in a therapy chair. Have him talk about the B team and what it did to him as a man. How he was emasculated. How he was fucking, what's the word? Humiliated on national television by the Miz. Mm-hmm. Destroying his character. Just to be literally outcasted.
Yeah. Yeah. And that would be
and
awesome.
You also think about it too. The Miz is responsible for Dexter Lumis not succeeding either because of the ball.
Yeah, yes.
Fucking.
There's so many. There's so many
There's so
layers.
many seeds there, brother. I'm telling you right now, whatever they do, I'm fucking here for it.
Yeah, yeah. This is huge. Um, what if they hypothetical because you brought in Curtis Axel? What if they do bring Curtis Axel in for this as like a shaming thing where Curtis Axel's sitting there because they sit Bo is Uncle Howdy, right? But he
Yep.
says we're all Uncle Howdy. What if they bring in Curtis Axel as like one of those side pieces and he talks about it too, but he's in this fucking trance. And then they flip it and then you've got two Uncle Howdies there merge into one.
I think
Where
the only thing with Curtis is like I don't remember any like mind bending promos from him ever. Bo
no,
could at least talk. We've known that Bo can talk.
don't make this a promo. Make this like an emotionally based thing, right?
Right.
Where like the B team destroyed us. The B team made us social outcast.
Yeah.
The B team destroyed our manhood or our humanity,
Yeah.
our foundation, right? And you could even go as far as to say, because the Miz was probably the most predominant person on NXT when it first started in the competitions, which is where where Curtis Axel got his start
Right.
with the training. You could
Mhm.
even go as far back as to say you emasculated me from the very beginning. I don't know. There's so many things that could happen, which I doubt they'll go the Curtis Axel route. I'd love to see it. Curtis Axel is the longest running Royal Rumble champion. You know, Royal Rumble winner.
I forgot that
uh,
was a fucking gimmick, bro.
Axel Mania is still running wild
My God.
decades later. Dude, but fuck, man, there's so much. So
And that's what I'm saying is the problem with Raw is
yeah,
there's so much shit that they're starting that I'm not confident that they're gonna close good with. Like the Wyatt stuff, I'm confident that Bo is protecting it enough to where we're not gonna see a shit ton of in-ring stuff from them, and I'm completely fine with that.
yeah,
But I need to see more effort into putting them on TV, not just glitching out the fucking screen every now and again. Be like, oh, it's the Wyatts. Nope, they're not going to be on fucking TV. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and that's the thing. That hour that's missing from the show hurts that a lot. We can't wait till January for this shit to get off the ground, dog. We
yeah,
can't. Their
yeah,
momentum is non-existent right now.
yeah, yeah. And like you said, the hour that's cut out really does a lot of damage to that. You know, to a lot of people. Um, but speaking of January's coming up quick, right? And um, it's going to be a lot more lenient
Yep.
with the language and with the violence, and that's okay. But I don't want to see fuck bombs all the time. I
No,
don't.
and I really like Punk's take on it a lot. It's like we shouldn't be doing that just casually on TV. And the AEW is
Yeah,
starting to see that too because they don't do it as much as they did in the beginning. But
yeah,
I feel like AEW's problem has they've overdone everything so heavy that they're so in the mud right now when it comes to uh, fluidity and their product.
hmm Okay, I'm going to say this, and like, there's two things, and we don't normally talk about AEW on the show, but I'll say one good thing that they have done. They put the tag team titles finally on Private Party. They took them off the
5 years
Bucks,
later,
right? 5 years later. Look, the tag team championship should have been put on Private Party at the last pay per view at Wrestle Dream, or if that's what the last pay per view was. It should have been put on them at that time. Um, it was a few weeks too late, right? Second thing is they set up for a feud with Orange Cassidy and Mox, and I know how you feel about the both of them. But this is a different side of Orange Cassidy that we've never seen, that has never been seen. Um, and I will say that the last match that Mox and Orange Cassidy had was very good. Um, it was if you like AEW and you like that brand of wrestling, it was good. For people like Chris and I could care less about it.
Here's my thing about Orange Cassidy, man. AEW has been around for 5 years, right?
Yep.
Ever since Orange Cassidy has joined AEW, it doesn't matter what feud he has been in. It doesn't matter how many bangers as these people in the AEW audience would say that he's had. He goes back to the same shit in every fucking match. If he
Yeah.
didn't do the stupid fake kicks and the fake chop shit, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But he's the reason I don't care about Adam Cole, because Adam Cole lost to a fucking hug on
Yep.
one of his debut matches.
Yep.
And I don't care if you put an angry face on Orange Cassidy or not. It's not going to make a difference because it's still the same Orange Cassidy. If he pulls out his typical moveset, I'm telling you, it's dead. There's nothing they can do to make me believe Orange Cassidy. So
Yeah.
no matter what Orange Cassidy does, I will forever shit on everything he does. Respectfully. I respect your opinion always, but I just can't do it with Orange Cassidy. As for Private Party, I really hope that it wasn't a response to Shelton and everybody coming in, and that it was a genuine we want to put them over kind of thing, because Tony has a really nasty habit of putting putting title on black talent and just transitioning them immediately. So again, I hope it's genuine. 5 years took to put a fucking title on two guys that are really good. I think it was a hot shot booking, but whatever. We'll see.
I really think how they debuted the Hurt Syndicate was not the greatest, right? Like they brought MVP in, that's cool. They brought Shelton in, that's cool. But almost immediately they put Shelton against Swerve, so that hurts any momentum that Shelton had, and then immediately afterwards debut Bobby Lashley.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did Shelton lose to Swerve? That is fucking hilarious.
Hold on, let me double check because I think he lost to Swerve. That hurts any moment, in my opinion, personal humble opinion. It hurts. Shelton versus Swerve results. Okay, Swerve beat him.
I don't understand. I really do not understand, dog.
And then so now I think if I'm wrong, we're getting Bobby Lashley versus Swerve next week.
So essentially, Bobby should mop the floor with Swerve.
But it ain't going to happen.
What are we doing? Why would you book that match on Dynamite of all fucking things? You're an idiot. Tony does not know what he's doing. And this is the problem I have with AEW, bro. I said this the other day. The last time they went against NXT fucking destroyed them. And they didn't stack the show at all. They lost 300,000 viewers. Yep. That's not good.
Nope.
And Dave's excuse was, oh, well, people just prefer to watch WWE because it's better. No shit, it's better.
Yeah.
No shit, it's better. Because NXT doesn't do dream matches just for the sake of fucking doing dream matches. No. If they do, it's building up to that. Javon Evans and Randy Orton, sure, you could have put that on a pay-per-view, but it wasn't needed in the pay-per-view. They did it in St. Louis. It might as well have been a pay-per-view. As for AEW, I feel that they have booked way too many dream matches on free television that nobody gives a fuck about. Look what they did with Adam Cole and fucking Buddy Matthews, bro.
I was just about to say that.
They had Adam Cole, who is arguably in the worst shape of his life. I have no room to talk, by the way, for anybody that wants to
No,
make
but
that
as a performer, he's in the worst shape.
he looks horrible. He is really small, not any muscle mass on him whatsoever.
Yep.
He has him kick out of a turnbuckle power bomb and a fucking stomp at one. This is why AEW will not thrive. Sure, they got a new TV deal. Congratulations. But the product is trash. I'm sorry. There is no redeemable qualities about AEW as a whole. Nothing.
No.
You can put it on any streaming platform you fucking want. Not one goddamn person is wanting to watch AEW because it's can't miss.
No. And I was just about to bring up Buddy Matthews and Adam Cole, right? That, in my opinion, is a pay-per-view quality match. Why would you give that away for free? Right? And those are two names of one was a champion and everywhere he went. And another guy is, in my opinion, in one of the best stables in AEW, right? And you're booking these guys like absolute fucking dominant animals. Why would you have him go against them on free TV?
Yep.
And
now
then
we're
just
doing Malachi and Adam Cole for free.
Make it make sense.
I quit.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see the post where somebody asked an actual intelligent question to Dave Meltzer? They said, "How do you come up with a star rating system?" You didn't see that? Okay, so somebody was like, "Hey, how do you come up with the star rating system for your matches?" Right? Because you've only had one 6-star match, but you had a bunch of 5-star matches, a bunch of matches in between 5-star and 6-star. How do you do it? Especially as somebody who is not connected, you have zero experience in the wrestling business. And he said, "Do your research." Dog, that is the most empty question or answer I have ever seen or heard.
It's Dave Meltzer. What do you expect, bro?
Yeah.
Look what they did for the Vince doc, bro. Like I said this from the beginning. The Vince documentary was not made to tell us anything that none of us already fucking knew. We knew everything that was told in there. And who was the one person that was in every fucking episode for no reason whatsoever?
He didn't even belong in it.
Fucking Meltzer out of everybody.
If anybody should have been
David Hicks as a fucking source in that goddamn documentary, bro.
If you wanted to replace Dave Meltzer with one of two people, it could have been JR, right? Or it could have been Cornette.
And you know what's crazy about JR is I think, and this might be a really hot take, I think in some fashion he knew about what Vince was doing.
Yep.
Maybe. That's all I'm gonna say.
Maybe. Also, a little bit of hot news. Did you see Cody's take on body shaming in wrestling?
Yeah, I agree with him.
Oh, I do too. I agree
with him 100%. Okay, so here's my response to that, because everybody's all butthurt about it, right?
Yeah.
Would you have a out of shape, no stamina, no skill whatsoever, 350-pound man or woman in a main event scene and say, "Oh, well, fat positivity, body positivity"? No. Brother, this is a cosmetic business. You're not going to see the NFL hire a fucking out-of-shape 400-pound man. You're not going to see the NBA hire a 300-pound woman or man. It is a cosmetic business where you're on national fucking television.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but if you have a problem with people telling, "Hey, man, like, you should be looking better if you're going to be on national television."
It's true.
Again, Adam Cole. I have no room to speak as somebody who's out of shape. I know, I'm very aware I am out of shape, but I am also not on national television in front of millions of fucking people trying to sell a product or a story.
Yep. Here's my thing: is it harkens to the saying "dress for the job you want."
Yeah,
Right?
right.
You're not gonna walk into a Fortune 500 company wearing a tracksuit.
Exactly. And that again, with that culture too. The women or the men that fucking go on social media and bitch that they didn't get a job because their whole face is tatted up and covered in piercings and fucking rainbow colored hair. Oh, I didn't get the job because of the way I looked. No fucking shit. You should have
Yeah,
thought about that before you got your face covered in tattoos, dog. I'm
yeah.
sorry. But again, dress for, like what you just said, dress for where you want to work.
You want to work as a tattoo artist? Cool, that's fine. Learn the skill. You want to be a barista at at a coffee stand? Cool. Go learn
However,
that
I will
skill.
say this though. I will say this though. The shit that they were doing to EMTs and fucking retail workers forever for having tattoos, I
Hmm.
think is a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not gonna have a lawyer who's covered in piercings and tattoos represent me. I'm sorry. I just like face
Well,
tattoos. I don't even care about everywhere else.
yeah. Well, I will say as a veteran,
Mhm.
um, for the longest time we weren't allowed to have tattoos in the
Past the
military. We weren't past the wrist, right? And
right.
that was because of uniformity, right?
Yeah.
Like our jackets could cover up our sleeve tattoos. You weren't allowed to have a throat tattoo because you
Right.
had to have it covered up. Obviously, you're not going to have a face fucking tattoo, right? But then they started doing waivers where because there was a shortage in recruits where they were
Sure.
doing waivers for hand tattoos as long as they weren't um, either offensive or they weren't gang related or drug related, and that's fine.
Right.
Um, like right now, I couldn't go in with this, obviously,
Yeah.
but I've seen guys fully tatted up, hand tattoos, whatever. Tattoos don't determine your lethality. I'll just say that.
Thousand
Um,
percent. Right.
yeah, but you're not going to. I mean, some people will go into a church and see a pastor that's tatted the fuck up, and cool, that's fine. But just for the job you want, right? And that goes along with wrestling. Cody isn't like ripped and jacked, but the man has muscles, right? And he presents himself as a champion. He's the first champion since for a long time that walks into a building and you look at him and you say he's champion because he dresses for success, right? He dresses as a champion. He wears suits. He wears three-piece suits. Very, in my opinion, very Ric Flairish, very Triple H-ish, and that's how it should be, in my opinion. Now, guys like Damian Priest or CM Punk, you walk in and you're wearing casual clothes, wearing your shirt, fine, don't give a fuck. But as a champion, you're supposed to present yourself as a champion and carry yourself as a champion. As a performer on TV, you should be carrying yourself as such, right? Like I don't want to see
Right.
somebody in the ring and 2 minutes into a match they're winded. I
Right.
want to see and that was my thing yesterday. Bronson Reed and Seth went for like 15 minutes, if I'm not wrong, maybe a little bit longer. And
And Bronson works out like crazy.
he looked fresh, right? Like
Yeah.
there was no moment in that match where he was winded. I can't say that about AEW, right? Like if you get Brody King in a match for 15 minutes, that man has got to take 3 weeks off, right? I love Keith Lee, but same thing. If you put Keith Lee in a match like
Oh,
that, he's not going to go
okay.
long.
Let's use Keith Lee as an example, right? Keith Lee is like near like the 300-400 pound range when he
Yeah,
was debuting in AEW, I believe. He was a bigger
yeah,
guy, right?
yeah,
This man had heart issues.
yeah,
There should be no reason he is doing half of the shit that he is doing in that ring. And
nope,
okay, if you want to be in a company that doesn't want to look out for your health and keeps you off of TV until you get into better health, hey man, it's your fucking life. But don't sit there and be surprised when people are saying, bro, you need to lose weight. You don't look
yep,
good.
yep,
You know what I
yep.
mean? Like, I think Keith Lee is an outstanding human being. I really, really do. I don't agree with everything he says. I don't agree with all his beliefs. Um, I don't care for anything he's done in AEW. I think ever since the heart issue was found, that it kind of seems like he's never really improved his health, or his health has
Yep.
gotten worse. We haven't seen him on TV or mentioned or any of that sort since they I think since they did that throwaway Swerve and fucking Keith Lee match last
Yep.
year or whenever it was.
Yep.
I don't know, man. We're in a really weird culture where telling somebody to work out and better their health is wrong. I think there's a way to say it. I'm not saying to straight up bully somebody to the point of where you got them in their head about everything, but
Yeah.
there's a way to say everything, bro. Again, it's a cosmetic fucking business.
Yeah. I completely agree. Speaking of health, we also got another health update. We got one about Rhea Ripley. She has a fractured orbital socket, which sucks for her because she just got off the shelf. And now she's injured again.
She's got to stop doing that fucking headbutt, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, this is what I was talking about with the Rhea Nia match. She does unnecessary shit to I don't know why. Again, I'm not dogging Rhea Ripley because Rhea is awesome, but she does some shit that just isn't necessary.
Yeah. Yep. I think that we may be getting a return soon. It's not confirmed, and we don't even have any details. But a name was dropped on SmackDown, and I caught it. I don't know if you did. So when Liv was coming out and she was cutting her promo on Nia, she said, "I retired Becky Lynch."
She's been mentioned a couple times. Yeah,
she has. And we could get a return, which is refreshing. I like Becky Lynch, but in doses, right? Like, I don't like her all the time because it feels like force, right? But she could be returning soon, and we could get another return, a surprise return at the Rumble in Charlotte. I am going to say this.
There's a lot of women that are on the shelf that when they return, it's going to be big.
I will say this. I miss Charlotte. And that's crazy because a few years ago, I wouldn't have said that. I think Charlotte is the most well-rounded woman on that roster, like, period. Like, in between promos, charisma, presence, ring storytelling, and ring work. That woman, and there's so many feuds from women that she can work with right now. That would be great.
Yep.
She hasn't worked with Bianca.
Right. I think Charlotte is the greatest woman on that roster. Bell to bell. Nobody touches her. And it's funny. Everybody will sit there and say, oh, well, this person's better. Rhea's better. Bianca's better. No, they're not, bro.
No. Nobody can go the distance
if
like
Charlotte wasn't the best, if Charlotte wasn't the best of all time, of women of all time, every single person on the indie scene and or in the current roster on NXT and main roster wouldn't say that Charlotte was a dream match.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We still have to see Jade and Charlotte. Jade and Charlotte is going to draw money. Whether people like that shit or not, because I know there's this weird ass Jade hate going on for whatever reason.
That's stupid. That's dumb. I will say there's a lot of feuds that she can do now. We got Charlotte and Bianca.
Bro. She can come to NXT.
Yeah. We got Charlotte and Bianca.
Think about this matchup. Think about this matchup. Charlotte versus Stephanie Valkyrie.
Ooh.
Bro, I'm telling you, that would fucking slap heavy.
My boy Peter says Zelina really hasn't been given a chance. I agree. She had that, she had that match in Puerto Rico with Rhea, which was a good showing for her. But she hasn't really been. Rhea? Yeah, it was Rhea. Yeah. She hasn't really gotten that showing, that big exposure. I would love to see her. And we were talking earlier, Peter. We were saying we would love to see Zelina in a position where she becomes a champion, whether it's through Money in the Bank, whether it's Rumble, whether it's a one-off match, right? And I would love to see it because that woman has busted her ass everywhere she's gone, and she really hasn't had anything to show for it. She doesn't have a tag team championship, a women's tag team championship to show for it. She doesn't have, a heavyweight championship to show for it. Give that woman
So okay,
at
here's my
least a
question:
chance.
whose spot would you give her?
So, or Liv, I would absolutely give it to Liv. Because I
Really?
mean, what does Liv have to lose by losing to Zelina? I don't think really
Credibility.
anything. Mm, I mean, losing to a veteran, I don't think that would like hurt her.
So okay, counterpoint. I think if Zelina were to feud with Liv and it be a believable feud, right?
Yeah,
Raquel needs to be completely taken out of the equation.
yeah,
So have her take out Raquel in some fashion.
yeah.
Have her win a. I mean, they're doing a battle royal, apparently Monday for Liv's title. So we'll see what happens with that. Nikki Ash got a chance and made it happen. Yeah, but Nikki Ash was one of those things where it was like, here's a title reign, we're not going to do shit with it. I don't really count
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I think Nikki and Wyatt Six is better than anything she's ever fucking done,
I agree.
and that includes
I
Saturday.
Yeah, I would love to see. I mean, honestly, I'd love to see as like weird retribution. I would like to see Nivea Isle get. It'd be between Nivea Isle and Zelina at the end, and Zelina eliminate Ivy Nile. I'd love to see that, and then she gets the number one contendership. I would. I
I would
mean,
love to see
honestly, I
an
love.
Ivy Nile fucking Live feud too. To be honest with you,
Yeah, yeah, but both of them are heels. So I mean, kind of have to make it.
right?
Rhea takes out Raquel and Ray takes out Dom, and so Rhea's injured right now. She has a fractured orbital socket, but you could have. I mean, because they are kind of friends. Who is the girl? The girl with the fucking swan? Chris. Who's the uh, NXT? She came up from NXT.
Trying to think.
The one where
Lyra.
the
Lyra.
Lyra. Yeah, you could have Lyra take her out. And as like a favor because they've been teaming up, or you could have one of the god damn it, one of the tag team, the women's tag team, the ones that have, yeah, you could have somebody take out Raquel, and then that way, yeah, obviously, I mean, like, there's a way around it, or you could literally have it where it's a surprise roll up and Zelina wins.
So I think instead of having Zelina go for the main title, assuming these rumors of the mid card title are true, I would wait until Netflix debuts, have Zelina be the inaugural mid card champion.
Yeah, that could happen. Peter says my only problem with WWE is that these women who are beasts in NXT come to the main roster and get wasted. I agree. I think Chris and we hit on that too. Some of them.
So here's my thing on that take really quick. I feel people overlook the fact that women on NXT or men from NXT, gimmick aside, are wrestling for a small warehouse versus wrestling for an entire casual audience that may or may not give two flying fucks about what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
This is the key difference between AEW and WWE. AEW does not have casual fans. Tony Khan has said he doesn't give a fuck about casual fans. Hence them always having noise for some of the shit that we don't like. I love wrestling. I love watching wrestlers that are good wrestlers. But I'm also a WWE guy that prefers entertainment and story over what you can do in the ring. That being said, the problem with the main roster in NXT, while there is a connection more than there ever has been since Vince is gone, now you have to figure out how to book women and men not only the same way that they were in NXT, But again, we're talking about two completely different eras of booking. I don't think
Yeah.
Asuka should have ever went undefeated ever. I hate undefeated streaks. I think they're pointless because they did so much shit with Asuka in that year that she was undefeated that pissed me off. They had the mixed match challenge, which we knew damn well her and Miz were going to win because she was undefeated. They had her in the Rumble, which again, she's undefeated. We knew she was going to win. So when she lost at WrestleMania and everybody got all up in their feelings about it, it's like, bro, you can't fucking be undefeated forever. I'm sorry. It's just not reality. Undertaker isn't undefeated anymore. Get over it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But again, you have to make casual fans give a shit about what you're doing. And that's why Johnny Gargano doesn't work on the main roster. He just doesn't. I love Johnny. I will forever praise that man. But he's an indie guy. He wrestles indie.
Yeah.
Ciampa is at least entertaining.
I think my biggest issue with the transition between WWE and NXT or NXT and WWE is like you see people that get built up really quick, right? So like Lyra Valkyria, she made it to the finals of the Queen of the Ring. We obviously knew she wasn't going to win, but what has happened to her since? Like nothing, dude.
In the fusion vortex.
Yeah. The pure charisma vortex.
Exactly.
She, what has happened to her since? Nothing, right? Like she picked up a handful of wins here and there, but like there's the momentum has been completely taken out of her sails, right?
And again, it goes back to what I was saying about the 3 hours.
Yeah. But then like you got Braun. At least there's a story with Braun Braun Breaker, right? Where like he's a cocky rookie that comes in, underestimates his opponent, and then wins the next match, right? And then he did that with Jay. He underestimated Jay, and then he got it back to that. I mean, he didn't win it fair and square. There was some weird interference shit that happened there. But your next, who's it gonna? I don't want to see this reoccurring pattern where he overestimates his next opponent, loses.
No, I think that was only for Jay. I don't think they're going to keep doing that for Breaker. I think that was strictly just for Jay.
Well, they did that with Sammy too, right? Because that first match that he had with Sammy, he lost, and then he won the next one.
Defending the title though.
He wasn't defending it. You're absolutely right. And at least they've been kind of steady with Carmelo, where they've had Melo win and lose with the same guy.
But okay, let's talk about SmackDown and Raw, right? SmackDown's roster is significantly smaller than Raw's is. And again, you talk about the mid cards on both divisions, men and women. SmackDown can make it work because they don't have to worry about all these talents that were on a 3-hour show and then getting delegated to the 2-hour show. I don't want to make excuses because Triple H is the booker. He is responsible for all of these talent. But what I will say is when you're doing feuds on a 3-hour show and you're making those feuds work for a 3-hour show, and then a whole ass hour, 60 minutes where you can arguably fit 10 more fucking segments and or matches are taken away. The mid-card suffers, the tag team suffers, the women's division suffers. Everybody is hurting. Thus, what happened last week. We got Dominic and fucking Damian Priest closing out the show.
Yeah. Another thing is like we've seen Tatum Paxley for 3 weeks, and then she's disappeared. That's another one. Was it Tatum Paxley or whoever? I can't remember. The girl that was with the former tag team champions, the one that was feuding against Naomi. I don't think that was Tatum Paxley.
Blair Davenport.
Blair Davenport. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I know she got married, and I don't know if there's a visa issue or what's going on with her, but she disappeared.
Yeah,
maybe she got hurt. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she disappeared, and so that's hurting. And then you had who was the woman that got drafted to Raw that had like two matches? Like she had a squash match and then another match. I can't remember her name. She was kind of like Tiffany Stratton, but not really. She had brunette hair.
Oh, Kiana.
right. I
She
know
got
she
hurt
had some,
though. She hurt her
but
leg.
she also had plastic
Yeah,
surgery
yeah,
though,
yeah.
and so like
She
so
said she had a leg injury.
mm, right. So like there's a lot of like rushed momentum going into these men and women, and then they get hurt, and then it sets them back, right? And so like I feel like building them up, right? Like they built Braun up. You got Shotzi and Alexa still on the shelf too. Yeah, I mean, I
She's
think
not on the shelf though.
I well, Alexa had the baby, and I think she's training,
Yeah.
if I'm not wrong.
Mhm.
And Shotzi, dude, I don't remember when Shotzi got hurt, but she's always getting hurt.
Shotzi got hurt last summer. I think it
What
was last
wasn't
summer.
it? Wasn't it in the War Games match?
No, so she had a match on NXT, a women's title match that was
Oh,
pre-taped, and she blew out her
yeah,
fucking ACL really bad.
yeah, yeah. Hey, Mama, that's my daughter's grandmother. Hello. Yeah, I mean, so you got like a lot of men and women that are on the shelf right now that is seriously hurting them, and
And
I
that's the thing people need to understand about WWE, man. It's a literal fucking machine, and
yeah.
the problem with injuries are unless you're solidified like somebody like Charlotte, you don't have a
Hmm.
guaranteed spot. That's why
Yeah.
Tegan Knox didn't work because anytime that she got momentum, either A, nobody gave a shit. They even put her in NXT, and even the NXT crowd didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Nobody cares because who is Tegan Knox? Nobody.
Yeah. Yeah. Peter brought up and said then they might bring in Jordan Grace when her contract's up.
Oh yeah,
I've heard
100%.
that
100%.
she's coming no matter what, and I
Same
think her
with
husband's
same
coming
with
too.
Joe Hendry.
Yeah, Joe Henry, and I'm pretty sure Jonathan Gresham's coming too. And I would love I love
I
Jonathan
don't think he
Gresham.
will. I don't think he will.
You don't think so?
Nah, no way.
I mean, regardless,
Only
either way,
because of how his transition to AEW was. I don't think he'll sign with a big company again.
well, we'll see. But yeah, I Jordan Grace is an absolute animal. I would love to see her in the WWE ring. I would actually like to see her on the main roster. I
Yeah,
would. There's so many matches that she could fill
so
in, right?
fucking many.
Her and Charlotte, her and Bianca,
Her and
right?
Jade,
Like her and Jade, her and Jakara, her and like you fucking goddamn. I
and
mean,
that's what I'm saying, bro. Like people don't understand how many talent are on the back build, bro. When Trick
yeah,
Williams comes up, bro, he's got more charisma than a lot of those guys has.
yeah,
And
yeah.
you got people like Ethan Page who can out talk almost everybody on that roster. Like NXT serves a very, very valuable process.
Hmm. Michelle says, what do we think about Paul Heyman coming back?" So he was on an interview with Roman, and he said when the time is right, he's going to come back, but he's not going to come back unless it serves a purpose. And
And that's what I thought.
I have a feeling it will be if the new bloodline gets a manager like a wise man, so like Armando Estrada, which has already signed a WWE contract, and so they would have
That's
their wise
fucking
man.
genius.
Yeah, and so that they would bring Armando Estrada in as their mouthpiece, and then Paul Heyman would come in as the OG Bloodline's mouthpiece.
What if, what if Armando is brought in but brings Zilla with him?
Mm.
Umaga's son, bro.
Yeah,
That would be fucking genius.
yeah. Zilla Fatu. Oh, yep, Zilla. Dude, we have love for Zilla here. We have love for Jacob Fatu, man. We got love for the whole bloodline except
Bro,
for
Jacob
Tangaloa.
Fatu is not human. Jesus
No,
Christ.
no, no. That man. We love you, Solo. I don't love Solo. I'm the I'm a Roman guy, but I like Solo. I think what they're doing with the bloodline, the new this storyline, this go around is really fucking great. Um, but I would like to really see if Jacob overthrows Solo. Still trying to figure out what they're going to do with Hikuleo. We were talking about that earlier in the show, and there's talk about him going to NXT. But if they're doing a 5v5 for War Games, they have an opening.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
have an
I
opening.
think it's all a matter of if he's ready for that spotlight, though. If Triple H doesn't
Yeah.
feel he's ready for that kind of spotlight, then I wouldn't put him there.
No, no, absolutely not. But I mean, we had Tongaloa. Michelle says Roman's the man. Yes, yes, yes. We love Roman. Um, but yeah, I mean, dude, the Bloodline storyline is heating up. They're cooking, and I know Chris, like you're kind of like, eh. I'm enjoying it. I find it
I'm
enjoyable
enjoying it
as
too. I just hate that it's a focus point every goddamn show. But you know, it is what it is.
yeah, yeah. So we got Survivor Series next. What's the pay per view after that? What's the pay per view after Survivor Series? Because there's got to be one more. What if they bring back New Year's Revolution? I'd love that. Like I know that they have New Year's Evil for
Well,
NXT,
that's
but what if
NXT.
they got day one? They have day one in January.
What day is January 1st on though?
Shit, I don't know. No, no, no. But I know that they do it. They do it the first January 1st would be a Wednesday. So day one would probably be that Saturday. Day one would be that Saturday. They need a new generation of warriors. Yeah, I mean they're building up Braun Breaker to be one. We have Obafemi in the fucking in the background.
Bro,
Once
when Oba comes up to the main roster, it's over.
nobody's safe. Nobody's gonna be safe from that man.
I'm gonna need Oba and Gunther as soon as humanly possible.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Or Oba and Roman, dude. Like I'm cool with that.
God damn, Oba and Roman would go so hard.
Oba and Roman, Oba and Jacob. I don't even know, dude. Like
A lot of possibilities there.
honestly, I would like to see Tony D come up too, man. He's been on NXT for a hot minute.
Tony D is so underrated, bro. I don't know why he gets so much hate from people. He's so good.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Did you see who he was talking to on NXT?
Yep.
Oh, Nunzio.
No, they're not.
They're gonna do Oba wrong in the main roster. Hope they don't.
Absolutely.
Like Triple H is when it comes to his NXT guys, he ain't stupid. I mean, I know we get a lot of mix up when they come up, but I feel like they won't do Oba.
If that's a reference to how he books black men, I think yeah. No, Keith Lee's health dropped the ball.
Yeah.
That wasn't Triple H.
Yeah.
That was Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon ain't on the roster anymore.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if they were gonna have like in the Rumble when they had Keith Lee and Brock show out, like I think honestly that was a good showing for the both of them, right? And they were waiting for Drew McIntyre to eliminate Brock. That was a good showing for Keith Lee. I really wish Keith Lee would have got
Survivor Series moment.
Yeah, and then they changed him to Bearcat Lee, and
but again,
Vince really fucked that up.
That's what I was saying about the differences between NXT and Raw is, unfortunately, you need a gimmick. With Triple H, he doesn't give a fuck about a gimmick, but you need to make money for the company.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
Lee. Good.
No, we had Keith Lee. We had Keith Lee and Dijak. We had Keith Lee and what the fuck is his name? Karrion Kross fought Keith Lee, right?
He for the title.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like Keith Lee had a hell of a showing in NXT. Unfortunately, when he got up to the main roster, it was a combination of Vince and his health. And that's the fucking problem in AEW now that he's in AEW is that's health. And Tony Khan just don't know how to book. But anyways, I don't think that they're gonna fuck Obafemi over.
No
I really don't.
There's no fucking way.
Mm-mm.
If Triple H finds a way to drop the ball on Oba, I would be surprised because Oba is a very well-rounded superstar, and that's what you want. The difference between Oba and somebody like Bobby Lashley is personality.
Yeah, I have a feeling that we are going to get the likes of like Obafemi versus like it's going to be like Cross was another NXT beast and a great entrance and was blah on the main roster.
I think
I
he's better
we
now than he was.
oh yeah, I like we like him now better, you know, with the Final Testament than he was the first time around. But you know, I have a feeling that we're gonna get a lot of big men matches, right? Like we're gonna get Oba versus Omos, right? And I think that'd be a good match. Omos can go.
I don't
Omos,
know what is going on with us.
no, me neither. Um, I think we're gonna get Oba versus like Braun Strowman, which would be a good match as long as Braun can stay can stay goddamn healthy.
Yeah,
And then like Obafemi versus Bronson Reed. That whew, just think of that match, dude.
exactly.
And if Big E could get cleared and actually want to wrestle, we get Big E against Obafemi. Big
I don't.
meaty man
I think.
slapping
I
man
think
meat. Oh yeah, yeah. I think he's done too.
he's been gone way too long. I don't think he's ever going to come back.
No, no. If he did, that'd be awesome, and I'd be really surprised. But I don't think that it'll happen. But yeah, I mean, there's so much potential for Obafemi on the main roster. Um, I don't want to see him with a manager. The man can talk. I mean, it's been proven the man can talk. He's probably the most well-rounded NXT guy that has been for a long time. But yeah, so we're gonna close out the show. We run it 2.5 hours. That's a long show, man. We've been running for a hot minute now. But anyways, Chris, what are you looking forward to this week, either in wrestling or in life or both?
NXT in the ECW arena. NXT in the ECW arena is going to be dope as hell.
Yeah,
Get that 10-woman tag team. Get Bubba Ray Dudley, RVD,
Don Marie.
possibly Sandman. Yeah, Don Marie. Nunzio's going to be there.
Yeah,
It's
that's
going
gonna
to be a
be
great
huge.
show, man.
Yeah, I'm really excited about Raw and SmackDown for that matter. I want to see what happens with the Wyatt Six. I want to see who is going to be the next contender for Gunther's championship, as well as what they're going to do with Cody and the Bloodline, right? Because there's so many unanswered questions right now. Um, yeah, and this upcoming week, man, it's just going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy.
You got
So,
27
uh,
days to build something for Cody.
something, man, something. But to everybody that's jumped on the page and has commented and interacted with us, thank you, Peter and Michelle, and Jr. and Ryan. I appreciate you guys and Webb on YouTube. Thank you guys for being here and hanging out with us and talking wrestling. This is something we enjoy to do. We'll be back next Sunday. I have nothing to do. I'm not going out of town, not going anywhere. So we will be back next Sunday. We will talk about wrestling at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And until next time, I hope you guys have a good day. Much love. Deuces, ooses. Good